You've tried cutting carbs and still feel stiff, inflamed, or tired. But what if the one food you gave up was actually the one that heals? New research shows sweet potatoes, when chilled, unlock hidden healing power for your blood sugar, your joints, even your heart. Stick around, because when you eat them this one way, the results surprise most doctors. After 60, even healthy carbs become tricky. You might notice your joints ache, your blood sugar spikes, your energy dips, and your doctor tells you to cut back. But what if the real fix isn't removing carbs? It's choosing the right kind, prepared the right way. Sweet potatoes, when eaten properly, don't just avoid harm, they actively heal. In my clinical work with over 10,000 seniors, I've seen what this humble root can do, and honestly, it still surprises me. Blood sugar reset Frank is 71, and he was done trying, done cutting carbs, done watching his sugar still spike, even when he did everything right. Until one morning, his wife did something different. She packed him a cold sweet potato salad for their church group. No fanfare, no promise, just leftovers from dinner. But within a week, Frank noticed he wasn't so winded walking up the stairs. And by the third week, he felt clearer, stronger, like something had finally clicked. And it had. Because when sweet potatoes are cooked, then cooled overnight in the fridge, they go through a tiny transformation most people never hear about. The starch changes. Instead of raising your blood sugar, it starts feeding something far more powerful. Your gut bacteria. Specifically, the ones that make butyrate, a natural compound that helps your colon heal, and more importantly, helps your cells respond to insulin again. Think of it like WD-40 for your metabolism. Your insulin key finally fits the lock again after years of resistance. And this isn't just theory. A clinical study in 2019 followed older adults eating just half a cup of cooled sweet potato per day. No meds, no extreme diets. After 60 days, their blood sugar markers dropped nearly 5%. Frank didn't know any of that when he took his first bite. He just knew. It didn't hurt anymore to walk, and sometimes that's how healing starts. Not with a rule, but with something cold, soft, and quietly powerful. 2. Inflammation relief. Darla hated mornings, not because she wasn't a morning person, but because every step she took out of bed, her knees reminded her. You're old now. Some days, even brushing her teeth hurt her shoulders. And the worst part? No one really saw it. She looked fine on the outside. That all changed because of one small habit. Steamed purple sweet potatoes. Once a day. No butter, no salt, just soft, warm medicine from the earth. She didn't expect much, but after 2 weeks, she noticed something. She could kneel again. She could walk the garden path without gritting her teeth. You see, purple sweet potatoes aren't just pretty, they're packed with something called anthocyanins, natural compounds that act like tiny inflammation fighters in your bloodstream. They go after the silent fire, the low-level inflammation that causes joint pain, brain fog, and yes, even heart disease. In one 2022 study published in Nutrients, seniors who added purple sweet potato daily saw a 43% reduction in inflammatory markers in just 6 weeks. That's not a medication. That's food doing what food was always meant to do. And here's the part most people miss. It's not just what you eat. It's how often you give your body that chance to heal. For Darla, it was one small root, steamed gently, eaten slowly, but it gave her back something she'd quietly mourned for years, her mornings. The next one, almost no one talks about it. 3 Gut Garden Revival. Harold never thought much about his gut. He just knew something wasn't right. His digestion had slowed, his mind felt foggy, and strangely, even his mood was off. Doctors ran tests, nothing dangerous, just normal aging. But Harold didn't buy it, so he started with something small. He roasted 2 sweet potatoes, skin on, light olive oil, and added them to lunch 3 times a week. Not for weight loss, not for a cleanse, just curiosity. By the 3rd week, he noticed something unusual. He didn't need coffee to stay awake in the afternoon. His stomach wasn't bloating like before, and the crossword he used to give up on, he finished it, twice. What changed? Sweet potatoes are one of the few carbs that deeply nourish your gut microbiome. Their fibers act like compost, feeding the good bacteria, especially the ones that produce butyrate and serotonin precursors. In 2020, researchers in the Gut Microbiota Journal found that just 4 weeks of sweet potato fiber increased bacterial diversity by 25% in older adults. That matters, because your gut isn't just about digestion. It's your body's second brain. 70% of your immune system lives there. And when your gut is inflamed or starved, your whole body feels it. But when it's fed, gently, regularly, healing starts. Harold didn't change everything. He just added a warm orange half-moon to his plate. And in doing that, he brought life back to the garden inside him. What happens next is like flipping on your body's repair switch 4, antioxidant defense crew. Rosa used to joke that her skin looked like it aged 5 years every time she went through a stressful week, but deep down, it wasn't funny anymore. Her joints were stiff, her eyes felt tired, and no matter what lotion or supplement she tried, she still felt like she was running on fumes. Until she heard something surprising at her senior center. Sweet potatoes can feed your skin and your cells from the inside. She rolled her eyes, but she also listened, so she started baking them. Skin on, with a splash of olive oil and cinnamon, every other night. Within a month, her daughter said something she hadn't heard in years. "Mom, your eyes look brighter." That wasn't just coincidence. Sweet potatoes are rich in beta-carotene, which your body turns into vitamin A, one of the key nutrients your cells need to activate their natural repair enzymes. Think of it like lighting up a night crew inside your body, tiny workers repairing oxidative stress, damaged skin, and even tired eye tissue. In fact, a study in Antioxidant Research Journal, 2016, showed that seniors who consumed beta-carotene-rich foods daily had a 33% increase in SOD enzyme activity, a powerful internal antioxidant system linked to slower aging. But here's the part most people miss. You need a little fat, like olive oil, to absorb the beta-carotene effectively. Without it, the crew never gets the tools to do their job. Rosa didn't know all the science. She just felt something change. Her skin, yes. But deeper than that, she said she could feel herself regenerating. And sometimes, that glow doesn't come from makeup. It comes from nourishment. This isn't optional. It's foundational. 5. Pressure off. Blood pressure regulation. Before his heart surgery, Raymond never thought much about blood pressure. He thought it was just a number, the nurse mentioned. He felt fine, until he didn't. But what his doctor told him afterwards stuck with him. The damage had been building for years, quietly. So, when Raymond was cleared to go home, he made a small promise to himself. No more ignoring quiet signs. No more pretending fine was enough. And one of the first things he added back into his diet was something he hadn't touched in a decade. Purple sweet potatoes. Here's why. These vibrant roots are rich in natural nitrate compounds and antioxidants that gently help your blood vessels relax, lowering pressure without the harsh crash that some medications cause. A 2014 study in the Journal of Biological Agriculture and Horticulture found that hypertensive seniors who ate purple sweet potato daily for 4 weeks experienced a drop in systolic pressure by 8 to 12 points, with no side effects. How? It comes down to oxidative stress. When blood vessels are inflamed or stiff, pressure builds, but antioxidants in purple sweet potatoes help soften the pipes, letting blood flow with ease, like turning a tight faucet handle loose. Raymond steamed one small potato each morning, sometimes with herbs, sometimes plain. He didn't do it for flavor, he did it because he wanted to see his granddaughter graduate and still have the breath to cheer. This next shift saved one man from giving up his morning walk forever. 6. Muscle and strength recovery. Eugene used to love his morning walks. Same trail, same time, every day for almost 10 years. But then, it got harder. First the hill felt longer, then the bench halfway became a need, not a rest. His doctor said it was normal muscle loss after 70. But Eugene didn't want normal. He wanted to feel like himself again. So he asked a nutritionist what he could try. Just something simple. The answer surprised him. Add one small sweet potato after your walk, especially the orange kind. It sounded too easy. But within 3 weeks, Eugene noticed something subtle. His legs didn't shake on the stairs. He stood up from the couch without bracing his hands. And that hill? It was still there, but it didn't beat him anymore. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Sweet potatoes offer a rare combo. Complex carbs that restore glycogen and high potassium to balance post-exercise muscle stress. It's like giving your muscles a warm, steady charge after the effort, instead of letting them burn out from lack of fuel. In a 2017 review from the Journal of Nutrition and Aging, diets rich in potassium and resistant starch were shown to improve muscle preservation and recovery in seniors by up to 27%, especially when eaten after light physical activity. Eugene didn't count macros. He just walked, stretched, and ate half a warm sweet potato with cinnamon after his loop. That tiny ritual gave him something bigger than strength. It gave him back his rhythm. But healing your legs means nothing if your mind fades. 7. Brain fog, breakthrough. Helen had always been sharp. Names, dates, appointments. You could count on her. But then it started small. She'd walk into a room and forget why. Repeat the same story to her sister, twice in one call. Then came the fog, not confusion, just a haze she couldn't name, and it scared her. So, when her grandson gave her a recipe card, handwritten in crayon, that said, "Grandma's brain, sweet potato mash," she laughed and cried a little. She started making it every Sunday. Baked orange sweet potatoes, mashed with olive oil, rosemary, and a sprinkle of turmeric. Comfort food, brain food. And within a few weeks, she didn't just remember appointments. She remembered how she felt in those rooms. Here's the quiet truth. Sweet potatoes don't just help the body. They help the mind. Their resistant starch boosts butyrate, which travels from the gut to the brain, reducing inflammation and protecting neurons. Combined with beta-carotene, this dynamic duo acts like a fog lifter, clearing oxidative stress and enhancing focus. In a 2021 study from Frontiers in Neuroscience, adults over 65 who consumed a diet rich in butyrate-producing foods showed significant improvement in memory recall and verbal fluency after just 5 weeks. Helen didn't read the study. She just read the recipe and followed it. And every time she made that mash, she said it felt like her thoughts came home again. But none of this matters. If you lose your eyesight, 8. Vision and eye protection. Elaine never used to worry about her eyes. She passed every test. She read without glasses. But one evening, just after sunset, she realized something had changed. The road signs blurred, the sidewalk lines vanished into shadow, and for the first time, she felt afraid to drive home. So she parked, breathed, waited, and quietly made a promise. I will take care of my eyes, starting now. Her first step? Not a pill, not an expensive lens treatment, just a simple habit she remembered from her childhood. roasted orange sweet potatoes. You see, sweet potatoes are one of the richest natural sources of beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, essential for retinal health, tear production, and night vision. Inside your eyes, that vitamin helps build rhodopsin, a light-sensitive protein your retina needs to see clearly in dim light. Think of it like installing new headlights on an old car. Not flashy, just clarity where it matters most. In 2005, a clinical trial in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors who increased beta-carotene intake experienced significant improvements in night vision within 8 weeks. Elaine took that to heart. She started roasting sweet potatoes, skin on with a drizzle of olive oil, 3 nights a week, not as a cure, but as a promise. And the next time she drove home at dusk, she smiled in the mirror because she could see her own eyes, clear, steady, and still watching the road ahead. There's something quiet about a sweet potato, warm, simple. It doesn't shout. It just helps. You've heard the science. You've met Frank, Darla, Helen. But the truth is, this was always about you. Maybe your knees hurt. Maybe the fog rolls in quicker than it used to. Or maybe you've just been tired for too long. And maybe you thought, this is just aging. But what if it's not the end? Just a system waiting to be fed again. Try one thing. Steam a sweet potato. Let it cool. Eat it slowly. No pressure. No plan. Just notice. Because healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's soft. And sometimes it begins with food. If this spoke to you, share it with someone you love. Or better yet, cook together.